You're listening to the Run for Your Lives podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I'm Daphne.
And I'm Pake.
And this is the Run for Your Lives podcast.
This episode, we're doing something a little special and fun. We had our holiday special last week. So now that it actually is the day before Christmas or 2 days before Christmas when you're hearing this, and we already did our Christmas special, we were like, well, we'll do something else special. That's fun. Easy for the holidays. But it was just kind of an idea we cooked up. Actually, after recording, I think the episode you'll hear next week, which is funny. That's how time works. But it sounded like something really fun. So it's an easy kind of fun conversation for us where we're not really having to dive into one movie. And that's because we decided to scour the internet, search around, or just in our own brains and things we've seen before in the past, and find our favorite or new favorites of worst best trailers for movies that fit within this Run for Your Lives realm. Creature features, monster movies, disasters, whatever. But then just find the B movie is giving it a lot of credit, like C or D, F. I don't know. Z movies. But just
bottom of the barrel.
Right. Most ridiculous, bad effects, bad acting, ridiculous premises. What are some of just the wildest trailers? And those are the parameters. They're trailers of movies we have not seen. We are judging these based solely on the trailers. We have not seen these movies. Maybe we will see them or watch them at some point. I'm kind of curious about some of mine after really looking into them. Maybe we'll even cover them when we have nothing else better to do. For fun.
Yeah, I wonder about that because there's one or two that I like enough that I kind of want to watch them because they seem just bizarre.
Right.
But there are some that I'm just kind of I don't think I need to see this one. Ever. Yeah.
And then the other fun parameter of this is not only we haven't seen them, but neither of us have seen or know anything about the other person's picks.
Exactly.
So there's a chance for crossover. I don't know if there will be. I have a feeling there's one or two on mine that maybe you would have found and also kind of gravitated to, but we'll find out when we get there.
Okay. Yeah.
So we should have a list of 10 movies, 5 each. Unless there's crossover, then we don't really have backups. I think Daphne maybe has one backup.
I have one backup.
But I don't. I picked 5 and ran with it. So we'll see what happens. It's just going to be a loose conversation. Yeah. I mean, I've got some notes and stuff kind of break down these trailers a little bit. And then you should go on YouTube and stuff and find these trailers and watch them yourselves after this because they're a riot.
You know what'd be cool is if I put the links to the trailers in the show notes so that people could go.
Do that. That would be great.
Doesn't that sound good? Yeah, I'm going to try to do that.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure me and Daphne, after recording this, will be showing each other these trailers that we've talked about. Anyway,
I want to see already. And there's one in particular I can't wait to show you. You have to see it. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to make you go first. All
right. Let's just get right into it. First one you're going to know about. We've talked about it before. I've showed you the trailer for this one before. So I figured it's a good place to start. Is a movie from 2017, which all of mine are 15 to 18. They're pretty relatively new. This first one is from 2017 from Mar Vista Entertainment, and it is titled Toxic Shark.
Oh, man.
I know you've seen this trailer.
Oh, man.
Yes, so it comes from Mar Vista Entertainment, which is the home of all kinds of weird low-budget films. I have to give a special shout-out to my friends Dylan and Heidi for this one. They have a Twitch channel. I think we've mentioned it before a few times, and they did one Twitch stream where they literally were just watching and commenting on and reacting to a bunch of Mar Vista trailers, and this was one of them. And it was a whole fun rabbit hole I got sent down because of them. And this one is one that they love the most, and it stood out to me as well. So I was like, yeah, this is perfect. So I go to IMDb. I would just credit whoever the people, they had usernames and stuff, but it's the IMDb synopses. So the people who wrote those, you can go look at those and see. So I took the longer one. Sometimes I mashed a couple together, give a bigger synopsis than I usually do on our single movie episode. But yeah, so Toxic Shark. Off the coast of Puerto Rico, the tropic singles resort of the shady entrepreneur, Reese, becomes a pull of attraction to tanned young holidaymakers and an unseen underwater menace. With the toxicity levels in the water rapidly rising and the staff mysteriously disappearing, Sam reunites with his former girlfriend Eden in the sunny retreat, unbeknownst to them that a dirty shark has already infected one of their mutual friends. Now, as if being the ocean's deadliest predator wasn't enough, this particular shark is also poisonous. Who can survive the brutal attack and the bite of the toxic shark?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
And it did mention one of their friends was infected, because yes, if you watch the trailer of this, the people that are bitten or infected by the shark become zombies. It's a zombie movie and a shark movie together.
What could be better, right?
It's ridiculous. And then I have some of these. I have little quotes from the trailer that I thought were particularly cheesy or funny. Because they're all delivered in terrible acting ways. And so my favorite quote from this trailer is, "This shark is oozing some concentration of arsenic." And it is available on Amazon Prime to watch.
Why do I think that in the future we are going to end up covering this movie? Just because
who knows?
It's ridiculous. It sounds like it could give Thanksgiving a run for our worst movie we've ever covered.
Mm-hmm. Well,
or Lois
didn't have really bad CGI.
No, it was really practical.
Cheap, bad practical.
Yes. Very cheesy. Very cheesy. Mm-hmm. I'm not surprised you brought that one to the table, and I am aware of that because I remember we did watch the trailer for that one at one point months ago. So I'm not surprised you brought it. I can still remember the zombies from the trailer, so...
Oh my god, Audra! Audra! Like, they're talking zombies that mock people. I don't know.
Yeah, it's real weird. Yeah. Well, that is a great first entry. So my first entry is a 2022 film from the United Kingdom called Croc, also known as Crocodile Vengeance, with the tagline, "It's not safe to swim anywhere." The premise is this. 2 locals went missing. Their remains were found in a torn-up tent. Lisa and Charlie are preparing for their wedding in the English countryside. But the crocodile, who presumably killed the local couple, returns in time for the wedding party buffet. There is no safe place from the croc as it walks down the aisle, goes in the house, even the swimming pool. Reminds me a lot of a movie called Alligator that came out in, I think, 1980, starring Robert Forster. I loved that movie. Don't think I would love this one, but it is ridiculous because the effects are just awful. And movies like this, one thing that I learned, they don't ever put what the budget is. But you can anticipate it's real low.
$7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this one, this is my first one. It's Croc.
It's interesting.
Yeah. It's kind of silly.
My next choice is another one that is probably the most known on my list. It has a cult following. People know about it. I think I have referenced it multiple times on the podcast in the past, but I actually haven't seen it. Maybe I should. And that is 2018's The Velocipastor.
Oh, man. That is a Jerry Gomez recommendation. Yeah. I remember.
Mm-hmm. So, yes, a little synopsis here. After losing his parents, a priest travels to China, where he inherits a mysterious ability that allows him to turn into a dinosaur. At first horrified by his new power, a hooker convinces him to use it to fight crime, and ninjas.
What could be better?
Right. So he's a priest who then, in the trailer, when people go to confession and confess horrible crimes and terrible things that they've done, he turns into a dinosaur and eats them, giving out his swift justice. God doesn't want you to kill people. This is from the trailer. I think God wants to kill a lot of people.
Man.
It is ridiculous. There is a sequel planned for release, because it is one of those so badly ridiculous movies that it does have a cult following, like I mentioned. Do want to check this out. There is a what in the trailer that gives Mark Wahlberg in The Happening a run for his money.
Oh my god.
Because this movie was like, last night was so good. What do you mean? Whenever you turned into a dinosaur and ate somebody or killed somebody, he's like, what?
Oh man.
Man, it's just ridiculous. And the trailer itself just has this like Australian voiceover that keeps cutting in, just randomly going, the Velocipastor. Just like randomly, just like to remind you what movie it is over and over.
Oh man.
And it is also on Prime through Freevee, so there are ads as well as Tubi. So you can watch it on there. Free to watch with ads on both of those. I think I might.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing that masterpiece.
The Velocipastor.
Well, my next one is a 2021 film from the U.S. called Dinosaur Hotel. Contestants have an opportunity to win $1 million by staying the night in a hotel with an unknown threat. It's not really clear if the contestants know that it's infested with dinosaurs or not. I'm assuming not, since one contestant is bringing in her 2 young children.
Yeah.
Out of all the movies and trailers, or out of all the trailers that I was going through, the effects in this one are probably the best.
I've seen the trailer for this. That's not saying a lot.
No, it isn't. The trailer shows T-Rex eating multiple participants. This movie is also known as Dinosaur Valley, which I think Dinosaur Hotel much more fits the plot of what's actually going on. And there's a sequel. Can you imagine what it's called? The sequel to this movie.
Dinosaur Hotel 2.
Yes. Keep it simple. Yes. Keeping it simple.
Uh-huh.
The tagline is Enjoy Your Stay.
I do have a sequel title for you that is not much more creative.
Okay.
Coming up
all
later,
right.
But we'll get to that later.
Well, I started to try to keep track of the cast. Like, I'm looking at the cast list thinking I might include some names. And then at this point, I was kind of like, no one you know is in this movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the case for a lot of these, except for some of them I've got coming up. Actually, I think the rest of my list have at least one name that I can give to you, so that's fun.
Okay.
All right. It's going to go by quick. That's fine. Short episodes. They're great. Hopefully we have a longer episode with feedback, because I want to, as you're hearing this, you've already had a chance to send feedback. So I'm hoping we got some fun trailer ideas and stuff from some of our listeners. We'll see.
Yeah, we'd like to know what some of the crazy, ridiculous movies you've seen are.
So the next one for me, 2018, it's another shark movie, but it is also a Christmas movie. So it's very timely for when we're releasing this. And it is Santa Jaws.
I do believe Jamie mentioned that movie to me at one time.
Really?
Yes.
It is real interesting. So here's, I threw together a couple little synopses. Trying to survive his family Christmas, Cody makes a wish to be alone, which ends up backfiring when a shark manifests and kills his entire family. You see, Cody is an aspiring comic book artist who's presented with a pen that changes reality. And so when he draws Santa Jaws, it comes to life and starts doing away with Cody's family and friends. First, nobody believes Cody, but soon his remaining family and friends find out that it's true, and it's a battle for survival. Who will win?
Where did he get such a pen, I wonder?
I don't know. I'm curious, and we have to watch to find out where this magical pen that brings things to life came from. Probably given to him by a character that is credited as Evil Santa, maybe.
No, or the I think they might be credited as the only family member that loves Cody. That lovable aunt or uncle that treats him with respect, gives him a pen to make his life better.
Right. It didn't make life better for anyone. The shark in the movie has a Santa hat on its dorsal fin and Christmas lights wrapped all around it as it's swimming around. I think the kids are fighting back with like ornament grenades and like candy cane arrows. It gets real wacky.
That sounds like it could be fun. I'm picturing the ornament like bombs,
right.
The grenades. That could be fun.
Right. A couple of quotes from the trailer that I enjoyed. Both of them from Cody, I think. He goes, "That's not a shark. That's Santa Jaws. I know her. I made her. That is her."
Oh my god.
Or the end of the trailer ends with him saying, "Ho, ho, ho, you son of a fish." So there's also that.
Oh, man. That sounds like punishment to me.
Right. I mean, there's a guy in a Santa costume. I guess this evil Santa who gets kicked into the water. There's people impaled. There's a catapult launching a turkey. It has everything in this trailer. It is also available on Amazon. I swear it's not on purpose, but I think all of mine ended up that way. And Cody is played by Reed Tiernan, who I really only know from that tearjerker of a movie that came out recently called Joe Bell. He's the main star in that, other than Mark Wahlberg. He's Mark Wahlberg's son in that movie. And so I was like, where have I seen this before? Oh yeah, that movie that made me cry. Got it.
Yes.
So yeah, there's Santa Jaws. Maybe we found our new next year's holiday special.
Oh goodness. Oh man, I better start thinking. Well, my next one has the tagline, "You breathe, you die, and it will grow on you." And I found this movie because another one was suggested to me, and this one came up too, and I thought this one was even more ridiculous. So this one is called Mold. It was released in 2013. It's from the US. Was set in 1984. A remote lab is creating a new weapon to combat drug cartels. Unfortunately, and is always the case, it gets out of control. It grows everywhere, including on people, and it eats away at the skin and body. Can anyone escape alive? The effects in this trailer are terrible. The green mold is reminiscent of effects from the late 70s or before. No one you've ever heard of is in this movie. The trailer is ridiculous. The fake sense of intensity and urgency. The acting, it's a train wreck without a train.
Just a wreck.
Just a wreck. It's just a wreck. It's a wreck.
And not a recommendation. Just a wreck.
Just a wreck.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I can't wait to show you this one.
Man, the thing about a lot of these movies is at least you got to give them creativity points for coming up with some of these things.
Do you? Really?
I guess.
Are you sure?
I feel like they earned at least something. It's like, it's a terrible creative idea, but it's creative. There's that.
So what do you have next?
All right. I like your idea of starting with the tagline before telling you what it is. So tagline, "We've eaten them for years. Now it's their turn." This is 2016's Attack of the Killer Donuts.
Oh my god. I knew Love and Dunkin' Donuts was going to come back to bite me.
It's going to come back to you. Yes, a chemical accident turns ordinary donuts into bloodthirsty killers. Now it's up to Johnny, Michelle, and Howard to save their sleepy town from killer donuts.
That sounds pretty self-explanatory.
Right. We have a fun little casting inclusion here of Officer Rogers, played by C. Thomas Howell.
Oh, man. How the mighty have fallen. He was such a popular actor in the 80s.
Right. Man, from The Outsiders to outside of the realm of good acting jobs.
Man.
But
Well, I've saved a special one just for you.
I wasn't done.
You're not done.
It was not done.
Okay, there's more.
Yeah. I mean, because I gotta add my little Prime/Freebie and Tubi, same as that. But just to explain, yes, the donuts have a bunch of sharp teeth all around the center of the donut. So they bounce around while chasing people down and flying all over the room, attacking people. So I know you love the gingerbread men from Krampus.
I
so maybe
do.
We could find you a new baked monstrosity for you to enjoy.
I don't know about that. Donuts seem a little too close to home.
And there was even a theme song written for the movie.
Oh, boy.
Something along the lines of Attack of the Killer Donuts or something. I don't remember how it goes, but I watched the trailer. It's in there. It's fun. So yeah, there's that.
Well, I saved a special one for you. This one doesn't have a tagline. It was released in 2022. An earthquake traps a claustrophobic Danny under a car, and he grapples with something from underground. This one sounds amazingly familiar as something we've covered a bunch of times on Run for Your Lives. It got a whopping $12,000 at the box office.
Oh, wow.
The name of the film, They Crawl Beneath, but it sounds a lot like, and the monsters look a lot like a graboid.
Nice.
Just saying. And when I saw this, I knew it had to be on my list.
Mm-hmm. Maybe when we run out of Tremors movies seasons, just now we'll move on to a Tremors knockoff.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, it really is a knockoff. This was one of the few movies that had anyone in it that I'd ever heard of. Michael Pare, who was a big or a well-known actor in the 80s, late 70s, he plays the role of Danny's uncle. But I won't spoil what happens to him, but if you watch the trailer, you'll know.
Is it really spoiling? Yeah, if it's in the trailer.
Yeah, exactly. Well, because some people don't watch trailers, Pake. You don't watch trailers.
I typically don't, yeah. For movies that I want to see.
So what else do you have?
All right, this is a shorter one. We're going like 30, 40 minutes. I'm just predicting.
More than likely,
that's fine. That's okay. Yeah, so because it's already my last one. This one. Oh my god. So yeah, had to save this for last. It is a sci-fi movie. Sci-fi original in the vein of capturing the same fame that Sharknado did. In fact, it's technically in the same universe as Sharknado because it has a cameo from Ian Ziering as Finn Shepard, where while things are going down, you see him and he goes, "I'd love to help you, but I got a shark problem." Right. And that is in the trailer. So it's in the same universe here. It is called Lavalantula.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. With the old days of glamour long forgotten, Colton West, the once popular movie star and action hero from the 90s, is now reduced to acting in low-budget movies about horrific bugs. And that's part of the actual part of the movie, not just what I'm saying.
Oh, man.
And when suddenly a swarm of earthquakes, that's what the synopsis says. That's a weird...
A swarm?
I know, that's an interesting way to group earthquakes.
I mean, maybe a swarm of tornadoes, like...
Right.
But not earthquakes. Do they congregate together?
Earthquakes. I know, they pack. They do move in herds.
Okay.
Yes, a swarm of earthquakes hit Southern California, a string of unprecedented events, chaos, and lava. So it's like a volcanic earthquake. Will give birth to a new breed of lava-breathing arachnids, forcing Colton to find his family before it's too late. Once more, this intrepid man of action will have to do what he knows best, armed only with a shotgun and the will to survive. However, what can a single man do against an endless army of monstrous lavalantulas?
Okay, that sounds ridiculous, and I have to make a confession. I think I've seen it.
You've seen this one?
I do.
It honestly has quite the impressive cast for considering what it is. It's got Steve Guttenberg as Colton West. Nia Peoples, Patrick Renna, Ham from The Sandlot, Michael Winslow, Marion Ramsey, Leslie Easterbrook. Yeah, it's pretty much a Police Academy reunion. Danny Woodburn, and even our good friend Lee Wanell.
Yes! Anything Lee Wanell is in, whatever the role, it's going to be funny. Other than Saw. I mean, in Saw, he was chained to a bathtub, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so of course Michael Winslow being in it in the trailer brings all the sound effects along with him. Because even in the trailer, it's like, who can stop this swarm of bugs other than the Police Academy cast? Like, they know what they're doing.
Oh my God.
It's available in all kinds of several places. A lot of those same Amazon Freevee, Tubi, but it's also on YouTube for free. You can just find it on YouTube and watch it there.
Would not be surprised, but that's where I ended up seeing it. I'm one of those people that goes down a rabbit hole and then keeps going till I find something, and then I watch it, and then I wonder, how did I get here? Why am I watching this?
Right. And then this is another one that does have a sequel that was made the next year. And again, I could play the same game. Do you know what the sequel was called? I don't think you'll get this one as easy as I got that.
I don't know. I feel like it's going to be something Return of Lavalantula or something ridiculous like that.
No, it is To Lava, To Lantula. With the number 2 in both places and an exclamation point at the end.
That sounds a lot like Too Legit, To Quit, which was a song by MC Hammer in the 90s.
Too legit, to quit. Yeah. Two.
Yeah. How do you know that? I don't think it was out before.
I'm a time traveler.
That's right.
I've experienced things that happened before I was born. It's a thing that people can do sometimes with a special power.
Well, I'm really happy that you could get back from Friday to record this on Thursday, because I know that you were really busy with that this week.
Time traveling. It's something I can do sometimes. But only for specific things.
Okay, well, that brings me to my last one. And this one has not been released yet. 2023. It's a UK movie. And this is the summary. After a violent thunderstorm scares a house party, the guests flee to a nearby home for shelter, only to discover a more sinister hand is at play. Now they can't escape the stranger's home due to the thunderstorm, but they can't stay inside due to the danger that follows them. The overacting and the effects, which probably are the second worst of all the movies on this list. The lightning, the explosions, just bad. Yeah, not good at all. Again, there's a house party. There's an abduction that takes place. Just madness, Yeah, there's not a lot to say about this one other than it's bad. The effects are bad. I think the acting is not great. There were 2 names I recognized in the cast list that you won't recognize. One is May Kelly, and the other one is Gillian Broderick. They both appear, funny as it is, in my honorable mention. Oh, so really? They were in this one, and then they were also my honorable mention, which actually is a movie I think we should cover. And we did see the preview together about a week ago. It's a very scary take on a children's story. It's called Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Somebody made that movie. Yep.
Yeah, that one's going to be interesting too.
It hasn't come out yet. 2023, UK. It's basically like this. Christopher Robin brings his new bride back to 100 Acre Wood to meet his friends, Pooh and Piglet and Eeyore. However, he abandoned them to go to college, left them to fend for themselves, and now they're feral. They've also acquired a taste for humans as food, and they go off in search of food. So I don't think Christopher Robin's welcome's going to be quite what he was expecting.
Right.
His new bride might not be happy to meet these friends.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't have an honorable mention, but I have thought of one. But the only reason I wouldn't include it is because I've seen it. So I'll go ahead and throw it on here, though. It's something you may have heard about or seen, but it is a little movie. Because I'll throw this out for other people. Maybe we'll cover it too. Out of a movie called Rubber.
Oh boy, yes. I have not seen it. I've not
wandering, rolling, telekinetic tire. Literally just a circular rubber tire that rolls around the desert, blowing things, animals, people up with mind powers, but it's a tire, but it has telekinetic abilities. It like shakes and wobbles a little bit, and then people just like burst. It's ridiculous, but I kind of loved it.
We have talked about covering Rubber. I have not seen it. I'm interested to know who made this movie, why it was made, and was it worth it?
I think so. It's ridiculous.
Well, believe it or not, we've come to the end because guess what? When you are doing an episode like this, there are no production notes because they're kind of included throughout the discussion.
Right.
So we don't really have anything else to do except to wait for the feedback phone.
Mm-hmm. So we'll just have to sit around and wait for it.
Okay.
Who knows how long that'll take?
Wow.
I don't... Is it plugged in? Oh my god, that's the problem. Is like I unplugged the feedback phone because I was, decorating for Christmas and getting things set up, and I had to move some lights and stuff. Let me plug it right back in real quick. And, oh my god, it's immediately we have a backlog. Oh my god, let me get that. I will take care of it. I'm sorry. All right, so I got the feedback phone thing figured out. Again, it was unplugged, and then it was ringing, and I thought there was going to be some feedback. Turns out it was just the political ad filter got reset with the unplug, and so it was ringing, and it was just all the political ads from last month, and I just had to delete all of them. Hard delete, so no feedback this week. But
you can't do that again, Pake. Do not unplug the feedback phone.
Never unplug the feedback phone again. It's going in its own little case, and it's going to be
okay.
Watched over. No unplugging. I'm hiring a security guard to watch over it 24 hours a day. So
okay, good.
We're good.
Because
it'll be taken
we
care
don't
of.
want it to reset again. It's never fun.
We do not. Got that all fixed, so no more political ads. Not that there will be for, another couple of years anyway. But hey.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Oh, but we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Reset. Got no feedback for this week, unfortunately, but that's okay.
We'll be good for next week, which I will tell everyone what is coming out next week at the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
But if you'd like to submit your feedback, you can do so by finding us on Facebook and Instagram at Run for Your Lives Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at RFYL Podcast. Email us at runforyourlivespodcast@gmail.com. And if you're enjoying the show, tell your friends. We are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, pretty much all the other podcast players, including YouTube. Go to runforyourlivespodcast.com for all the links you'll ever need, and give us a review on Apple Podcasts, as that's the best way to share the love and get us out there even more. We really appreciate it.
We do indeed. And of course, talking about sharing the love, give some shout outs to things going on in the podcast universe around us. Of course, my other podcast, Strange Indeed, is not doing anything right now. We are taking a little break. We wrapped up our coverage of Midnight Club, and we'll be off for a few weeks. We will be coming back in January, pretty quickly after the beginning of the new year, covering the AMC series, the Mayfair Witches. So we'll be doing that, some Anne Rice TV goodness. I know literally nothing about it, but Rima is a huge fan, so she's reined me in to check it out and cover that with me. And I'm actually excited. I like diving into something new, completely blind sometimes. So
yeah,
it'll be fun.
You get a different perspective. Because I think she's read the books, so she's pretty familiar with it. So
I think I said it right. Mayfair Witches.
Yeah.
Not the. Yeah, no, it's about a bunch of, guys named Mitchell that work at a furniture company. It's the Wayfair Mitches. Now, no.
I wondered if you were going to try to tie it into the Mitchells versus the Machines when you first said Mitchells, but okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
I know where you're going now.
No. No, but yeah, Mayfair Witches on AMC. We'll be covering that after the new year, so stay tuned for that. Also on Podcastica, which is unofficially our new home right now, but will be also after the new year and a little bit in. So
yeah,
we made that announcement. I'm excited to start doing stuff over there, but we've been giving them love anyway before, so we'll continue to do it after.
Of course we will.
Yeah, still doing Dead to Me over there, the Dead to Us podcast. Jason, Penny, and Jade covering that. They should be wrapping that up sometime soon. I know they do like 2 episodes a week. I don't know how many episodes are in a season of that show. I have not watched that one yet. Been not really off my radar, but just not on my list. I've been trying to watch a bunch of other things and doing all kinds of other stuff. Holidays.
It is the holiday season. It's very easy to be very busy. There's just so much going on.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of holiday season, of course, the new Podcastica podcast, it's showtime, folks. That first episode is up now. You can go check that out if you haven't already. Daphne might know a little bit of something about that one.
Yes, I covered Miracle on 34th Street with Penny and Jade. It's my first time podcasting with Jade, and it was a lot of fun. There were things that we dug into, like, when should you tell your kids that there's not a Santa Claus? And lying to your children, and the Christmas season as a whole.
What are you talking about? No Santa Claus?
I know. Oh, Pake, I'm sorry.
What? Channel my Mark Wahlberg. What? I've been doing that a lot lately. No. What?
Yeah. Let's just say that we really talked about this movie. And we talked more than just about the movie. We talked about other things as well that kind of came up because we were talking about this movie. So it was fun to have Penny and Jade's perspective. So it was a great discussion, and I hope people like it. It was kind of a long one, but there really wasn't anything to take out of it because I think some of the discussion was just really thought-provoking.
Nice. Good one to check out for sure. And then Adrenaline Cinema, give some love to Mark over there, putting in some work, getting busy with episodes coming up and coming up soon. So go check those out. Mark and Jamie covered Jason X, and Jerry and Mark got together to cover the Ray Harryhausen movie, The Valley of Gwangi from 1969. So they go back to the classics a lot, him and Jerry.
Yeah, they do. Jerry and Mark, they have this love of Harryhausen. Mm-hmm. And I love that you could tell the passion when they record together because they both really are into it. It just makes it fun to listen to.
I'm a big fan of another Hausen. A very nice, very evil one, but that's a whole different thing. So
you know what? I kind of like him too. I know right where you're going.
But yeah, so that's really it. Again, holidays coming up very quickly, like right around the corner this weekend. If you're listening to this as this is up, it's like now. Holidays are upon us. So yeah, everybody's been busy with a lot of stuff. So there is still some podcast goodness to go out there and listen to for sure, though. But you won't hear from us again until after Christmas. So happy holidays to everyone out there listening this weekend.
Hope you have a wonderful time. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, but with that, we do have one more episode to do before this year is over. We have our last episode of 2022 coming up next week, right before New Year's. And what is that going to be?
Well, when a solar flare starts heating up the Earth's core, a geologist races from India to D.C. to alert the White House of the impending catastrophe. Meanwhile, a struggling science fiction writer tries to save his family. We are joined by our good friend Jeff to discuss Roland Emmerich's 2009 film, 2012.
In 2022.
Yeah. No one destroys the world quite like Roland Emmerich, and this movie is no exception.
Right.
And with that, we've reached the end of another fun episode. Hope you guys liked our dive into some bizarre trailers that we may or may not cover some of those.
We'll see.
You'll have to wait and see. Thanks for listening. I'm Daphne.
And I'm Pake.
And if you have to run, you better run for your lives.
Bye-bye.